And welcome to OurTime. She was a flying doctor's dental nurse who became a reluctant TV host of a pilot morning commercial chat show at Channel 9 for 9 years and then Channel 7 for 7 years. Curious. And I haven't seen her since, but now she's here. Hello, Jan Beasley.
Hello, Malcolm.
How lovely to see you. I really haven't seen you since.
No.
In fact, I hate to say this, but it's probably been something like 30 to 29 years.
Probably.
Something.
Yeah.
That is just crazy.
Where's it gone?
Just explain, you used to host a program here in South Australia called...
On Channel 9, called AM Adelaide.
Channel
It's called
9.
Adelaide Today.
Adelaide Today.
Adelaide Today on Channel 9.
And then after 9 years of that, you decided...
Well, I decided that I had 3 children and I was really busy and getting really tired and I needed a break. So I left Channel 9 and then my husband thought, she needs something to do. So we bought a model agency, as you do.
As you do, yes.
And for 18 months, that became busier than it was actually at Channel 9. And then Channel 7 rang me up because Anne Wills was leaving at that stage and they offered me the job. So I went back to telly and I was there for 7 years. So that's how it worked. Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I know,
but it's not how you started, but just so people can remember, here's a clip that I happen to be in too. That's probably, I don't know, about 80-something, 88, 9,
yeah, would
something
be.
about then.
Are you being silly as usual?
Yes. I used to get called in to do filler segments and here's the filler segment.
If you feel as though your days of staying at home are coming to an end, Malcolm Haslett tells us about starting out again. Good morning, Malcolm. What
Good morning.
Are you doing with that red hat on?
Well, I was hoping it would work for me. I believe this used to work. But
Yes.
really, the reason I'm talking about not just hats, but a whole lot of things, is because a very clever lady made this particular hat as part of virtually starting a new life and a new career for herself as a small business person. So I'll pop that back and I'll tell you a little bit more about it.
Right.
We got away with a lot of rubbish, really, didn't we?
The people loved it, Malcolm.
Well, it was live TV and you had that uncanny knack of just making people feel at home when you talked to them. And let's face it, you had to talk to a lot of people that really, they were difficult. I believe your first interview was mind-bogglingly difficult.
Yes, it was. Yes, yeah.
What happened?
With my first ever interview.
With your very first on-air interview?
Well, it was rather unfortunate actually because the woman I was interviewing was from America and she represented a company that sold food if you wanted to lose weight. And she probably wasn't very nice. She knew it was my first show. She knew how nervous I was. And she was not nice to me. Anyway, came into the studio, bang, and I'm terrified. And I'm talking to her and she's talking and she's sort of scaring me a bit and she was sort of a very strong character. Anyway, at the end of it, the floor manager's going, and I said, thank you very much for coming in. That was absolutely diabolical.
Nothing like honesty.
That's what I thought, but it came out of my mouth. I meant to say that was absolutely fabulous, but because she'd been so unpleasant,
yes.
I said, and of course I was so nervous. Well, do you think they showed it at the bloopers at the Channel 9 Christmas party, year after? Anyway, she got up, she stormed out, she didn't even look back. So, I mean, there you go. And they said, come in tomorrow. So I thought, I must have done something right.
There's something, though, that happens with television that you either literally go through the camera to home or you don't. And you definitely went through the camera to home. You're one of those, you've got one of those personalities and faces, I guess, that is just easy to feel that you're a friend.
Well, I liked having a lot of fun. And I was a dental nurse before.
Yes, I was about to ask you that. So So that's how it started for you, not TV, but you started
No.
off. How old were
Yeah.
you? You obviously had to go to uni to become a.
No. I was just a dental nurse.
Oh, you just
dental
stood there
assistant.
and took the teeth?
No, you stood there and you made people feel comfortable. That was your
okay.
job. You know,
Right.
so I had a lot
Well,
of...
that's why you were good on TV.
Yeah. So, you know, if you're coming in to have all of your teeth out, you want somebody that's going to be nice to you, don't you? Make you feel comfortable.
I'd like to have someone who knew what they were doing, was to the point.
So I think that was good training for me, but there was no training for television at all.
People person.
Absolutely nothing.
But you worked with the Flying Doctors,
Yep,
didn't you?
worked with the Flying Doctor.
And you
on
didn't
off.
just do the dental stuff when you went out.
No, because I was the girl before me got terribly airsick. So, well, there were meant to be two of us, but then it was only me. So I had to help the ear, nose and throat specialist, the dental surgeon, and the other guy, and I've forgotten what he did, but it didn't matter.
Foot doctor will do.
Yeah. But we did Cooper Pedy, Andamuka, Maori, Tarcoola, and then sometimes we'd have to treat Indigenous people, and we'd just we'd just fly into a paddock, we'd get the chair
Oh,
out.
that was interesting. What happened then? The fairies were here.
We'll keep going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Live television.
Yeah. Flip the deck chair open, and they'd come and we'd have our back, because they had to be under the wing of the plane because that was the only shade.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and we used to treat people under the wing of the plane, then fly off and go to another area.
How
and then,
amazing.
Yeah, but then
But
of
if you
course,
had to stay over, where did you stay?
of course, that was sort of on the way to really out of the places. But we stayed at the Australian Inland Mission hospitals at Cook, Tarcoola.
What, in the hospital?
Yeah, in the,
Next to the patient?
well, we had our own ward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you were there on call for whenever
Yeah,
they...
yeah,
yes.
yeah. We slept in hospital beds.
What a wonderful, what a wonderful way to start your life off, though.
Yeah, it was great.
Because you're seeing the country apart from anything else,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
genuinely helping people,
Yeah,
which is what
yeah.
nursing's about.
Yeah.
So, how did it happen that you ended up? Did you audition for the job?
No. I after dental nursing, I decided that I was going to be the world's best potter. So, you know, because I've always loved art and painting and that sort of thing. Anyway, and then I met a guy called Stuart McLeod who had a model agency, McLeod's Model Agency, which you might remember.
I do
and
very well.
And he said to me, why don't you come and do some modelling part-time? And there I met a girl called Amanda Halverson who'd been in Adelaide for 2 weeks.
Right.
And
she was doing the program, wasn't she?
She hadn't started at that stage,
Right.
but somebody had seen her doing the egg lottery draw after the news.
Right.
Channel 9 rang her, said, would you be interested in doing a television program? She'd been here for 2 weeks. Yes, she would. Do you know anybody else in Adelaide? She said, I've only met one other person and that was me. So she sort of rang up and said, how about it? I'd only known her a couple of weeks. Then the producer rang up. And,
Was that Pat?
Pat Gardner. And she rang up and she said, would you like to come in for an interview? And I had bell-bottom pants on about this wide and platform shoes like that.
Of course. Well,
And
it was the 80s.
Yeah, and I'm sitting in the green room waiting for Pat to come in to interview me for the job. And as she came in, I stood up, and as I stood up, I tripped over the edge of the bell-bottoms and flat on my face. My first introduction wasn't looking good all along. So I became the helper for about 18 months, and then Amanda went back to Sydney, and they said, do you want to take over?
Amazing.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're crafty, I don't know whether that had anything to do with the fact that I used to come into your program again as a filler segment to do craft segments.
You weren't a filler segment.
Oh, I think...
No, you were a very important team member.
Oh, okay. Well, here's an example of the sort of rubbish we used to do.
We're now talking. We're now talking about recycled
Yes.
crockery
Yes.
with Malcolm Hasler. Good morning,
Hello,
Malcolm.
good to see you today. Well, I
This is
brought
a
in...
lovely, lovely display that
Yes,
you
I brought in some nuts that come from a male gum tree, and
A
I've
male
also
gum
brought in...
tree?
Oh, yes.
What-
and I've
what-
also brought in some old crockery, don't ask. Now, everybody has either something like this, which is a little side plate, or a bowl or something like this, which is an old cup with the handles knocked off. See, that's where the handles were.
Our special guest is Jan Beasley. Jan, the years of doing the show, have you any idea how many actual shows you did of a morning chat show? Because it was a pilot show initially, wasn't it?
It was a pilot show, and excuse me, the theory was if it worked in Adelaide, it could work anywhere.
Right.
And it worked in Adelaide. Women were home, and it was a connection to what was happening in Adelaide.
Yes.
So somebody who had two small children or was nursing a baby or doing their ironing could find out about the latest movie, they could find out the shops, they could find out services that were available. There was a lot of, and I mean, you yourself with your crafty stuff that you used to, I mean, I'm sure that people went back to the sewing machine and did things.
Actually, I used to get, people would send photos of what they'd made of whatever nonsense I'd made on the program. Which was lovely, actually. It was lovely that you knew you were connecting.
Yeah.
And I must say that even now I still meet people who say, oh, I remember you, I made one of those things, whatever they were. And there was some ridiculous things. Oh, like this clip. We've got a clip of what do you do with your old jeans? And this is what you do.
Malcolm Haslett with not pantyhose hanging baskets, but pre-loved blue jeans. What are you doing, Malcolm?
Oh, sorry. Just hunting in my pre-loved blue jeans.
Once again, you have a wonderful display for us this morning.
Oh, it's all over the shoulder. Look at this.
What's this?
Well, this is what you do with your old jeans when you don't need them anymore. Now, just talk among yourselves for a minute. I've actually lost something that I was hunting for then. Just, I know it's in here somewhere.
Where's all these old jeans from?
Oh,
These
there
are
it
not
is.
all yours, are they?
No, actually they're not. I'd really like to thank Robert Pfeiffer because I had all these old jeans and things at home. Robert's from King G. And he, at the last minute, said, I can provide some jeans, and he did. Like these. Now, I'm a bit worried about Robert's... Robert does with his jeans.
I've got a couple of pairs like that at home. I'm sure everybody has.
What have you been doing with them, for heaven's sakes?
Gardening.
I guess those crazy things like what do you do with your old jeans? Wouldn't it have been good if that was available during COVID?
Would have been amazing.
Could have done all this stuff every day.
We should have had a show every day during
You could have
COVID.
done pottery. You're still pottering?
No, because I did have an exhibition after a couple of years with two other girlfriends. And dear John, my husband, set up, we got a shop at North Adelaide Village which was empty, so we had crates and black velvet everywhere and spots on everything. Back of the room was a table for cheese and wine. All the friends came, drank all the wine, ate all the cheese. The girlfriends sold a few pots. I didn't sell one pot. You know
How
why?
dare they?
You know why? Because I used to like making something on the wheel and then dropping it and getting this really, really crazy shape because I like things, and which I loved. Obviously, nobody else did.
And ashtrays went out of fashion.
Oh God.
Oh gosh, that's what a lot of people made, I guess.
Yeah.
They ended up as ashtrays.
Yeah.
So the show finished after 17 years of doing the morning show on the two stations. And when you were at Channel 7, you were working with...
Steve Whittam. And
you had a great rapport with him, didn't you?
Not initially. Initially, I didn't like him at all because he was our competition at Channel 9. So we used to watch and we used to say, they didn't do that very well and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it took about 3 or 4 weeks, I suppose, and then we became the best of friends. And he's still a great friend, and he and his wife Marina, and we still go out and we're great friends. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, it's really good.
Because often a lot of the people you meet along the way, particularly in show business, they do, because your backgrounds are sort of similar, you've experienced the same things, you've had people that didn't talk or people that over-talked.
Yeah.
Who was, of all of the people you talked to, I read this about you, who was the one who just talked?
Oh, Ronnie Corbett. The famous Ronnie Corbett.
From the two Ronnies.
Yeah.
The little guy.
Yeah, the little one. And I said, good morning, welcome to Adelaide Today.
And he took off.
He said, a funny thing happened on the way to Heathrow. Because he just arrived from London and he was doing an Australian tour. And poor old Patrick, who was the floor manager at that stage. So Ronnie had 4.5 minutes, like everybody did, and Patrick's going, just gently get him off, and then 5.5 minutes, get him off, 6, 7, 8 minutes, get him off. And we've got all these people lined up coming on, paid to come on the program. And I think it was about 11 minutes, and I think Patrick's nearly himself couldn't get this guy off. But honestly and truly...
Well, that was live TV.
Yeah.
And you couldn't buy that, really.
No, and I couldn't butt in. And in the end, all of the guests who were paying guests enjoyed it so much and felt really privileged to be there, as we all did,
yes,
the crew
well,
and
it would
everybody.
have been a special moment.
It was,
Mentioning
it was so
Patrick,
funny.
Patrick was the floor manager then, who now works for the ABC in Melbourne.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, and is instrumental in a whole lot of new things that the ABC are doing.
Yeah.
So it's lovely to know that the people we worked with then are both still in the industry and or, really charging industry forward with new ideas.
Yeah.
He was great, Patrick.
Certainly was.
So one of the other things that was very big on certainly the Channel 9 program was the wheel.
The Ronson wheel.
Well, it was, yes, but I don't know that we even talk about them now, but the interesting thing then was, I think, the old Adelaide Tonight wheel, because every TV show in Australia, or every TV station in Australia pretty much had some form of Tonight Show, particularly the Nine Network. And I think this was the reconverted, for the umpteenth time, Wheel of Fortune from Adelaide Tonight. And occasionally, if I was on the program, you'd ask, could I be your barrel boy? And this is what happened in those circumstances.
Oh, right.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you
Today's
very much.
winner for the $1,000 Ronson wheel, and the winner
is R. Williams of Broadview.
Williamson of
Williamson,
Broadview.
sorry.
Mrs. R. Williamson, give it a big spin. Go for it, Mal. And we hope your lucky number comes up this morning on the Ronson wheel. And is it going to be close to number 6?
That you, my dear, can be a showgirl here and now.
Oh, no.
Yes, this is
That's
what
it.
you've always
I've
wanted.
gone. See you tomorrow at 10 o'clock,
You've gone,
everybody.
all right, here
Bye.
we go. Now glide, Jan, glide.
And people won some amazing prizes, holidays and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, yeah. It was special. And the barrel used to be chock-a-block of
I
people.
know.
They used to actually put a stamp on an envelope and post it to enter. Can you believe that?
See, they're the things that we actually forget how times have changed. Because, yes, there was thousands of them. When I was working at Nine, my secretary, Rhonda Gardner, she used to take all of the letters home. She'd tear the stamps off.
Yeah.
She'd do what had to be done within the letter. It could be for tickets to come to one of the shows that there was a live audience for, or whatever. Yes, when you think about that, those great big bags of mail used to come in every day.
Yeah. I know, incredible. And I mean, young people wouldn't know what we're talking about.
No, letters. Do you know about letters? Oh, you do? I'm glad.
Oh, they do?
Yes, yes. Got a lovely young
very
crew
good.
here. Very intelligent people, see, that's why. So, Jan, since finishing on TV, you've spent a lot of your time really working for charity, particularly the Variety charity.
Yeah, Variety. I've probably been with Variety about 30 years, so I think it was about 1992 I went on my first bash. I was invited to go for about 3 days. And I could not believe how much money was raised for disadvantaged children.
So how is it actually raised?
Well,
the guys in the cars, do they?
Yeah, yep.
What do they do?
So it's raised before they go. So you have, you might have a dinner dance. A sausage sizzle, a
Does anybody
lottery.
know what a dinner dance is?
Well, I know
like
when
envelopes.
I said that, I thought, oh gosh, but it used to be.
Yes, it used to be.
Raise money, and some people could raise $100,000.
Incredible.
They're like 4 blokes in a car, they'd have all of these, and they'd have so much fun doing it. Then you pay, I think it was about $3,000 or $4,000 to actually enter. So in the, it's been earning, the bash has been earning $1 million, then $2 million, then 2.3, then 2.8, and having so much fun. I have never laughed so much in all my life. The stupid things that they do. I couldn't believe it. And coming back to tell people, they didn't understand what I was talking about.
It's just really people having a good time,
It
being crazy, letting your hair down and driving madly round.
So it's a celebration of a year's fundraising. They're in an old car, doesn't go very fast. They go to a destination. We give out grants along the way. So go to a community, give them a new playground, give computers to
Right.
Outback kids.
Right.
And then...
Oh, I see. So the bash is a giving thing.
Not totally, but along the way,
As
the
well.
money that's raised
Right.
goes into a fund.
So you can see where it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Fantastic.
people can apply to get funding through a variety if they need a new wheelchair or something like that.
But you also organise balls.
Balls, the four-wheel drive challenge. John and I have been officials on that for a long, long time. 20 years helping on the committee of the ball and raising millions there. And also I was on the board of Operation Flinders, which is an organisation that takes 100 children a year up to the Flinders to just discover themselves. These are youth at risk, and they're taken in groups of 10 to find out, you know, who they are and where they should be in life.
And that's what we really need more of.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah. And just recently, treasure boxes, which is just takes my breath away. Started by a young girl called Ricky Cook, and we make boxes for children, desperate children in need.
Amazing. We've got to take a short break, and we'll be back with this lovely lady who I've known for 30 years.
A long time.
We'll see you in a tick. Our special guest on this program has been TV host with the most, Jan Beasley. Jan, you've talked about your husband John
Yeah.
quite a bit. You're still married.
Still married, 48 years. Yeah, 3 kids.
You get prizes for that, I think, sometime in life.
And first marriage for both. How's that? That
Found the
doesn't
right
happen very
people
often.
right at the beginning.
Yeah,
3 kids.
3 kids, yeah.
And John, the name Beasley, as I recall, always referred to heating water.
Hot water services,
Yes.
yeah. So John now, that was a company that was sold to a French company, and then John started with solar, so he solar heats pools. So it's still the same sort of business, yeah.
And 2 of your kids work?
Yeah, both the boys are in the business, so
Brilliant.
that's lovely. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Family is good, isn't it?
Yeah, and they live around the corner, so it's terrific. Our daughter lives on the Gold
fantastic.
Coast. Yeah.
So of all of the things all the people you've talked to over the years, all those segments, all those ad segments that you had to do, there must have been some that it'll be over soon.
Well, I guess there were lots of things that were the same every week, year after year. So cleaning quilts, cleaning carpets, and you had to make it sound interesting. And I found it really a challenge. And sometimes I just think, I don't know how I can do this. Feel like, you know. But anyway, some that come to mind are the rock bands that used to come in early in the morning and be live.
Yes.
And I'm sure that maybe they hadn't gone to bed, and I don't think they were drunk, but maybe they'd been smoking something funny or whatever.
Maybe.
And I remember this particular group, I was here, there were 3 on the couch, and I said, and you've got a new album? Yep. Yep. And how long's it been out? Couple of weeks. And I had 5 minutes to fill. You know, which is the favourite song and how did you put it together and what, not sure. And this went on. And anyway, I think after about 2 minutes, and it was just, it could have been a comedy segment. I could have burst out laughing because Steve Whittam used to make me laugh before we went to air. He'd tell me a joke and he'd tell me the punchline
at the last minute.
just as we went to air.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Jan, it's been lovely talking to you. It's a shame that you've been
Likewise.
so difficult to get any information out of whatsoever.
Sorry, I've always liked to chat.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
It's lovely. It's just so lovely to see you again. And I know
Nice to
so
see
many
you.
people will be thrilled to see your face back on the TV screen because it's been a long time.
Has been.
And you were really so loved on
thank
telly,
you.
on both stations. People ask me often about you, do I know you and what happened to you? Well, now we know.
Yeah, thank you.
And now you know too. So thanks again, Jan.
Thank
so
you,
until
Malcolm.
next time on OurTime, thanks for being with us. Keep yourself nice till we see you next time. Bye.